Hello everybody. We'll get in here real quick. I'm prepping to put the engine in as soon as possible this week. Got the tack coat on the paint. I got to do a little improving underneath. Ooh, I don't have safety glasses on. Had a couple of sheet metal screws sticking out that we couldn't get to after the weld. I don't want them grabbing a hold of anything or me during the install. Let's see if this will work. Yep, good job. Now, seems to be okay. And oh, there it is. Really don't how neat this is as long as it's on there. That is about it. What I can see from down here. We'll go up top next. Now I got some seam sealing to do right here. Might as well do it right this minute on here with the gun. my, oh my, oh me, oh. It is totally, unequivocally stuff really is hard to handle in the not. Thought that was another sheet metal screw I had to go cut. Well, we don't know if this is going to work. We give it a little try. Basically what we're going to do is go back under the car. I got to remove fuel lines and the brake line and a vent line and something else, and electrical wiring. Cut them off and pull them out of the way. I want to rust proof between the two body rails back to the box behind the seat area, so this can be curing and getting ready for the install. If I can spray that tomorrow, I should be able to prep for the install on Wednesday and actually drop the LS in on. This paint is already tacking up really nice. Gonna need 2 more cans of paint for in here. And then I'll pull all this stuff out and I'll touch up all the black. And I gotta go underneath the cross member, which I didn't get yet. I'm going to paint this right here in the front orange, and from there in the bottom undercoat it. This just has to dry now. Give it my world famous Barrett Jackson rattle can paint job. I can't use my big spray gun because I'm outside and the wind will carry this overspray across the fence over on the neighbor's property. When you got good neighbors, you don't mess with them. I guess when you got bad neighbors, you just fire the paint gun up and let them scream. Needless to say, it's looking good. This is where I need some more crap on my hands. Oh well. I'll clean it off here in a second. That's the prep work we're doing. Shoot a little brake cleaner on the rag. And I'll go hit it with the hand cleaner. Why some sticky stuff in this humidity? It don't take long to stick up. All that work come down to this. We'll get her painted out. We'll get the undercoating back, then we'll paint it out again, trim it up nice and neat, let it dry for a day, and then we'll start putting the engine and transmission together. Okay. I told Mommy she wanted orange. She picked an orange color all right. The first one she picked looked like a washed out orange sherbet or a tangerine or something. I wanted something that had a little bit of oomph to it. So I went to what they call an AC orange. And when I paint it, I'll paint the lip of the fenders to protect it. I don't want any undercoating up here to affect the body lines. Same thing on the fenders. Two cans of that undercoating will do the center section with plenty left over to hit the two fenders. Then I'll have one can spare in case I get into something. So this is this part, bait people. Now I'm gonna go inside. I need to get fans turned on and get some hydration going on. This is my next project. Getting this prepped and ready. With the plenum off, I can put the chain sling on it and I'll show it to you. And then I want to get the transmission out here and lift it up, blocked up high enough that I can lower this down with the chain hoist and level it and marry the two of them together right here on the floor. So I'm basically ready to pick them up and roll them out the door and install it in the car. Now we're having an issue, and I think it's going to come back to haunt me. It might not. The oil pan comes up 3/4 of an inch farther out this way than I expected. but it's got a lip and it goes back 3/4 of an inch. So I'm thinking about taking off these two fittings to run electrical cables. They had a bracket with electrical cables and stuff going through there that I don't need. I'm gonna take off these two pieces, just zip them off there and clean it up. I'll touch up the paint. That should allow me the exact clearance I need to put it in there. I'm just sweating bullets on the drop. Because when the time comes, I'm going to put the transmission of the doorway blocked up. I'm going to put this on the engine sling and lift it off. Then I'm going to spin it around. Put the two of them together so I can just pick it up from there after I adjust the sling and take it to the front of the car. I've got to move my motor mounts over here. I got new bolts to put on it. And right now it is pushing 85 degrees and getting hotter by the minute. I'm going to have to remove the header plates and everything and install them on here. We stopped on the headers because the engine has a weird angle to it. The way it kind of, and the headers going on the LS will be designed to sit perfectly straight, which will cause an issue on the install. So to remedy any situations, we're going to fabricate the headers right against the engine when it's in the car. I'll pull the rags out of the header exhaust openings. We'll gasket it, clean it, bolt it up, okay? And then I will drop it in the car. Then the header tubes will have to be made and matched up with this and the transmission in the car. It'll give me the perfect mounting angle. Boy, this car, I could have done a LS into anything other than this and had less problems. So we'll get her prepped up and ready. Once she's in and bolted up, I'm gonna be tickled to death. And then when I got spare time, I can't put the the alternator back on here until I get the engine sling off, because it's going to be using the same bolt holes. I'll put that on here. I'll put the pulley back on here. I'll get the tensioner put back on right over here. Everything will be good to go. So we're getting close. What I wouldn't give for an air-conditioned shop right about now, but it's helping dry the paint. We're getting her done. People, it's moving fast now. It's going to take off. I'm going to take this off the stand. Give me a second. Now, day before Father's Day, I went down, picked up my rally wheels. There's my headers. They're 15s. They're good tires and the size I want to use. Got a hell of a buy on them. Along with, he threw in the drive shaft, the mounting plates, and the rear end. So for my 4.5 hour round trip, I did pretty good. I bought it for about 50% of what less I'd had to pay here local. So we'll be getting this worked on shortly. Because the game plan is to I got those soaking with some Rust Blaster. She's looking good. This will all change when all the black is exposed and repainted. Everything from here forward and down the nose pieces, everything's all in orange and a couple of coats. And then with the engine and LS dropped in here, we can start fabricating the headers. I may go ahead and order the wheel adapters to kick these wheels over 2 inches before we start building and modifying the headers to work. And then after that's done and the engine's out of the way and the transmission's out of the way and all that junk is out of the way and everything on that table is damn near installed in the car or out of the way, up here, I can get it back inside here, get it under some fans, some cooler weather, and we will be pulling the rear end out from underneath it, trying to fabricate that. That's the last of the major part of the build. And then it'll just be things like the drive shaft, fuel lines, battery cable box being moved to the trunk, new brake lines, new fuel lines. Got to figure out how I'm going to run the exhaust. These cars don't give you a whole lot of options for room. I really tell you that right now. My hat's soaking wet already. You can see that pretty orange clear from here. That's the color. I wanted gray. She wanted orange. You can see what color we're going in. We're going in the orange. So I will pick up some more orange. Now I'm using, everybody's going to be asking, well, how come you're not using your spray gun? I got cars parked right on the other side of that wood fence, and the overspray would blow across the fence. I can control the little bit of overspray off the can. I can't do it out of that paint gun. So there's no reason to open up that can of worms. That is it right there, boys and girls. We are going to be getting set up to finish the painting and the undercoating. And then we'll set the camera up and let you watch putting this thing together and getting it ready for the drop-in. I'll see if I can get my son's half-inch impact to operate the engine sling and get my grandson out here as a safety person as I'm doing this. Shouldn't drop it by myself, especially with the bum shoulder, because I'm struggling a little bit. Because I'm looking forward to gutting the back of that car. Once it's in here, I can paint the cockpit area, tape it off. I can strip the doors out, clean the trunk out, put all that stuff up. Paint the trunk's in good condition. Only thing it needs is a little bit of sanding and cleaning and paint, which you'll get shortly. I don't know the condition of the fuel tank. It seems to be 100%. I don't know. I want to pull it out, open it up, and get the endoscope in there and look around. See if we got any rust holes or anything in there that is going to be appearing shortly. But I did a real good trip on that shopping. I got all that, so I can just about dress her out now. I swear to God, it's 90 degrees in here. Just waiting for the stuff to dry. I think I'm going to move that umbrella and let the sun hit it. Just bake it on, be done with it. There's nothing else I can do today until that totally dries. And I'll need to go get some more paint. Nice, nice, nice. I'm just sitting there looking at that. That is just, it's coming together. I'll just fold up the beach umbrella. There we go. Next up is the undercoating between the two chassis rails. And then get all this cleaned up, taped this off. The whole, from the nose piece back, I'll just painted 2 more coats of orange. And then I'll untape it and I'll touch up all the black. Except for this is gonna be coming out during the install. The front sway bar, it's just one more thing in the way. So I can kind of get it down and move it back without snagging the pulley. This is my little Dirt Grabber 1000 right here. You don't have to excuse me, the heat's killing me. I'm moving as fast as I can. I don't know what to say, people. It's going to be flat miserable here in a couple hours. And Mommy says I can't be out here playing with the car. So I wanted to come out this morning to get that paint on there and get her baking on. To get her out of the shade and get a good look at her. She looks good already. I got to do some sanding. Still tacky. Won't be for long in this heat. I want to do some work down the heater box and undercoating stuff. And then I'll do the paint. That way I'm not leaning over the engine doing crap. It didn't help my back any. So people, that's it. She's up and ready. No ifs, and fours, or fours about it. I'm gonna say it is time to get my hat on. Protect my bald spot from burning. Like, subscribe, and follow along.